The heroes of the program My Day in Kazakhstan are the foreign experts temporarily living in our country. They are better known under the term expats, as well as foreign ambassadors and volunteers. In other words, the idea from Kazakhstan with love is still at the forefront and sounded by foreigners who have linked their fate with our country, although for a short period. The program heroes talk about themselves, about what they do, how they live here, and why they chose Kazakhstan. The camera accompanies the heroes of the program from the early morning till late evening.
Good morning. This is how I usually start my day, arriving to my work either by bus or by taxi. I have the good fortune of working here at Nazarbayev University. One of the original faculty hired when our school opened, and I'm very pleased to have been a part of the founding of this university. We have good people, good colleagues, and good students, all coming together in a very nice community. So this is a typical beginning of my day. We also have the unique situation of being across the street from the Expo 2017. So every day we have a chance to see the new works and the construction as it takes shape. So we see now the new mall, and then just behind it the main Expo Center and all of the Expo Village. We grew in 5 years from just a few hundred students to now several thousand, and I think we're still only halfway to the goals. You might know that Nazarbayev University was established to be a world-class research university, and from the beginning with very big ambition and vision. Every day, several thousand people make their way here to attend classes across many schools, undergraduate and graduate. I think now we have more than 3,000 students and 500 faculty.
Professor Michael Lewis from the United States has lived in Astana for almost 5 years. Previously, he had lived in the Middle East, where he had also worked at the university. Here in Astana, Michael spends the majority of his time working at the Nazarbayev University.
It's surprising when you first walk into our complex. When I was first hired and they sent me pictures of our campus, I thought they were paintings. I didn't think they were real. So imagine my surprise when on my very first day I walked into Block 1 and I saw the atrium. It's something that has, I think, a profound impact on our visitors. And I think it's a very compelling image for our students. So this is the entrance to our building. It's pretty amazing, I think, as you look around at the atrium. And as I think about the effect that this must have on our visitors, the visuals are spectacular. It's unexpected in the middle of winter to see palm trees and a garden. I'm always impressed when I arrive. It's an inspirational beginning to the day. It's the usual way for us to start our day to stop by for a cup of tea or coffee at La Tartine, the coffee shop. It's nice because many of our senior people, Rebecca Carter, our registrar, Loretta O'Donnell, our vice provost, maybe Leslie Price, the director of our foundation program, all very important people. We convene and we talk about the day and whether there's anything urgent that might need some attention. So let's go in and have a cup of coffee.
Michael's colleagues are some of the best professors from the world's leading universities. They are determined to introduce advanced methods of instruction in Astana, and that's why here they are at their workplace early in the morning. Despite their busy schedules, the professors always find time for friendship and good work relationships.
What are you working on?
Well, right now I'm actually working on an article that goes through to consider how it is that the university is helping to support students with disabilities.
Really?
And so, along with the graduate school education, and then also with the librarian staff who have been so pivotal in putting everything together. And so, we've been reflecting on that process and then thinking about how we can go forward.
Well, I'm kind of curious, how much of it is about, say, mobility and physical access, and how much of it is about resource accessibility, like library resources?
There's kind of a combination of it, actually. And so this is part of the thing that we have, maybe you know, our first blind student on campus.
I've seen him.
Okay. And so in particular, then, we're thinking about ways in which he can access everything within the classroom. And then within the classroom itself, there's then things from research methods, where then you are going to the library, and then there are ways in which presentations are given, group work is done, ways in which texts are actually accessible, and which ones we have.
Oh, it's very exciting. Thanks for the update. Good to see you. Okay, so now our first event for the day, coffee with our friends and colleagues. Now we head on to the main office. Hey, good morning, Mark.
How are you?
Good, how are things?
Oh, fine.
Yeah, how's the hiring coming? Interviewing going well?
Oh, we have some good candidates.
In just a few moments, we'll have a meeting where we talk about the hiring for new faculty for next year. So every department is conducting dozens of background reviews and then Skype interviews. And then we do live interviews with the candidates, either in the United States or here in Astana. So in the math department, my colleague Mark is helping with this process. We're giving feedback on our candidates.
Okay.
Well, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Cheers. Our campus is actually enormous. The atrium captures only a fragment. Buildings are scattered over the entire facility, but this is our major teaching space for the undergraduate schools. You might know we have a School of Science and Education. It's coming up on our right. We'll have a chance to visit in just a moment. We also have a School of Engineering just off to the left. And further down in the atrium, in what we call Block 8, we have our School of Humanities and Social Sciences. Our main performance stage for many of the events and speakers that we have. But at the end of the building, behind the Kazakh flag, will be actually the main entrance to the atrium. Let's take a walk inside now, and we'll have a look around the School of Science and Technology. One thing you might not know is that all the blocks of our university have a very similar design, and we have a great deal of open space. I think it's very nice. We have light and we have air, and even in the coldest days of winter, it feels very comfortable inside. This is our central atrium space where the students congregate during the day. And at every level, all the way to the top floor, we have faculty offices, laboratories, and lecture spaces. So here we've arrived in Block 7, the School of Science and Technology, and we've come to my office on the second floor. And now my space. I spend quite a lot of time working right here, preparing lectures, preparing for the next semester, meeting with our students. In my role, I teach in the Department of Computer Science, but I also serve as the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. So I deal with everything from course planning and room planning for the coming semesters to overseeing the degree audits of our graduating students. I serve as the chair of our curriculum committee, which means we have constant quality enhancement year to year. So one of the things I'm doing right now is sending a reminder to our faculty, because we have our midterm grades, the midterm assessments for all our students that we must submit. This is quite important. We need these assessments so that we can determine how the students are doing. So the student advisors can make some decisions about whether they should maintain their course schedule, about whether they need extra time, extra attention. Medina, please come on in. We have a meeting with Medina, who's one of our senior teaching assistants, and she helps with the coordination of our senior projects course. All of the seniors in the Department of Computer Science take a senior project capstone course. This is where they select a project and they conduct the design and they generate the proof of concept.
As a rule, in the morning, Michael meets with his Kazakh colleagues to discuss the current affairs because in addition to teaching, he is involved in administrative affairs and he is also a vice dean for academic affairs.
Photograph is our first graduating class in computer science. And then the other photographs are from New York. For 10 years I was in New York, associated with New York University, and I keep these as mementos. So now we'll go to the next meeting. The day here is a combination of teaching of our courses for our undergraduates and graduate students, but also a lot of administrative work. We're in the middle now of a big hiring cycle. We're a young university, and we built from nothing strong. A second one who, it's not so.
The first person from the university with whom Michael had a chance to meet immediately after his arrival was Olga Levkovich from the School of Science and Technology. She still recalls the meeting with a smile.
Он приехал сюда в 2011 году. Я как раз встречала его в аэропорту, дело было днем. И встретив в аэропорту, я обнаружила, что у Майкла вообще нет денег, кроме армянских.
Michael came here in 2011. I met him in the airport. When I met him, I found that he had no local money except the Armenian drams. What amused me was the fact that he was told that he can exchange any currency of any CIS country anywhere within the CIS, including Kazakhstan. But it was a false information. Michael was confused. We went to several banks to exchange the currency, but we didn't succeed. To his fortune, Michael had Arabian riyals, so an Arabic professor could exchange it. So Michael had enough money to last until his first salary in Astana. We often remember the story and laugh.
Арабского происхождения смог поменять ему деньги, и Майкл смог дожить этот период, дождавшись свою первую заработную плату. Мы часто вспоминаем этот момент и смеемся над ним.
In our university, we have these 3 undergraduate colleges, and I am a member of the School of Science and Technology. This is actually the largest undergraduate school at Nazarbayev University. For us, we have 6 majors. We have chemistry, biology, robotics, computer science, mathematics, and physics. We have experts from America, from the UK, from Europe, but in particular from this region. It totally makes sense that such a program, the best in the world, should be based here. And then we can cross-fertilize and network with the other programs around the world such that this is, it puts us on the map. I spent 5 years in Qatar. I lived in Doha and was able to see some of its rapid growth firsthand. I worked in Education City there. Before this, I was in New York for 10 years, in New York City, working with New York University, teaching in their graduate programming. In fact, that's how I first came to see Central Asia and the former Soviet republics when I was working with the United Nations on some of the earliest internet projects in the region. I had the chance to visit Uzbekistan, Moldova, Armenia, and so on. Never Kazakhstan, which was always a question mark for me, and it's one of the reasons I was so interested when the project first was launched. So now it's time for lunch. It's the lunch break. And we're very fortunate because in our university we have both regular kind of a restaurant style cafeteria, but we also have an enormous university cafeteria.
The autonomy and democratic nature of the university and its faculty affect everything. The professor, as a rule, has his lunches with his students so they can communicate in an informal setting.
Спасибо. But I'm good. Bon appetit. We're in the middle of a session now, but we'll have a chance to see one of the computer labs. It's a little bit rough and tumble because we want the rooms to be reconfigurable. We want the kids to put machines together, take systems apart, so they're designed to accommodate this. It's more like a physics or engineering lab than a usual computer lab. So sometimes people ask us, how do we find it here in Kazakhstan? Well, we find it very well. It's a very busy place, growing very quickly, with a great deal of culture. I'm surprised by things like the music, the opera, the sports. We're big fans of Boris Astana. We go to many games each year. We've come to know even some of the players and the families. Our colleagues come from 27 different countries. They bring so much experience. Our students come from all over the country, and they've been very open with us.
Professor Michael Lewis works hard. He today has a few lectures to give. We'll see our hero after the classes. After a long day, lectures, meetings with colleagues, management and students, Michael spends his evenings with his family. Astana has become second home for his children. They love the amazing and rapidly growing city.
Keep going, buddy.
I think Astana is a very kid-friendly city. We really enjoy it here as a family. It is very easy to move around the city with all the public transportation that there is, and taxis are very easy to find. So also in the restaurants, they're very, very kid-friendly. They usually have places where the kids can have a place to sit and draw and play by themselves while the parents have a snack. Schools, we have very good schools here. My kids go to one of the international schools, and the little ones go to a детский сад, which is a kindergarten in Russian. So we really enjoy it here. We really do. She's my oldest daughter, Gabriela. She goes to school here, and tell us, how do you like Astana?
I like it very much because I really like my school a lot.
This is Alec. He is 4 years old. And tell me, Alec, do you like Astana?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you like Kazakhstan?
Yeah.
Yay. Do you go to school here?
Yeah.
Do you like your school?
Yeah.
How old are you, honey?
6.
6. And what do you like about Astana?
Well, I like about Astana is because I have my school and have new friends.
Mm-hmm.
And also I like
Do you like
the beds from the school. They're pretty awesome. And I like the new toys.
Good. And do you like to go sledding in the snow? Yeah. And do you like to go on your scooter in the summer?
Yeah.
You can see we have the situation at home. We try to balance a little bit between the work area, where I work in the evenings and on the weekends, preparing the lectures, grading the exams, designing some of the courses, and then we try to devote some of the zone for the kids. So we have a combination of playing, maybe here with the toys, and now we can wander over to the kitchen and the living room. And another drawing table. This is kind of the more popular one, if I can say. The kids like it very much, and then we decorate the house with the outcome, different stages. Now, what are we drawing, guys?
I'm drawing outside with like a hill with a waterfall and a beautiful, you know those pink trees and like purple trees? I'm drawing one of those.
Ah, okay. So a hill with a waterfall and a pink and purple tree.
Michael is a family man, so he appreciates the family traditions such as dinners together. Dinners are a great opportunity to have a culinary experiment.
I like to take the family out for dinner. It gives a break from cooking at home. And we also like to try very much the local food. So sometimes we go for shashlik, sometimes maybe for Uzbek or Uyghur, sometimes Turkish. I think we're getting down to the end of our day. You can see we're having a nice dinner. After this, I'll head back and finish up a little bit of work, and we'll put all the kids to bed. It was a long day, but very nice. I say bon appetit to the family, and I say good night for the viewers.
One ordinary day in the life of an extraordinary man, Michael Lewis, professor from the United States as always, was a busy day full of work, care for his students and family. Good night, our hero. We'll see you soon with another extraordinary guest in our next show.
До свидания.
Bye.